Hi guys, welcome to another NOXTERRA video online. This is the first video we've done for a little while, so please bear with me if I may be a little bit rusty. This is one of our announcement videos for one of two litters we've got being born in November of 2020. We're lucky enough to have two litters being born, which we're very happy about. Let's just dive straight in. So we are very excited about this litter. The mother is a female called NOXTERRA Pasha. Now Pasha is a female born from two South African dogs. A female that we imported from South Africa ourselves, Cabaret Priscilla, a multi-South African show winning dog. And for the first of our dogs to win shows in South Africa, SABS shows in South Africa. So we're very proud of Priscilla. Pasha's father is a dog called Artifacts Eyster. Now, I discovered Eyster at the Fockville show and appraisal in South Africa in November of 2018. On the day I was show judging and appraising, he was brought up for reappraisal because he'd scored too highly. I knew straight away that he would be a good combination for Priscilla, and we arranged pretty much straight away that we would use him on Priscilla before she was brought over to the UK. Pasha was born in Priscilla's first litter. Pasha was the pick of the litter of males and females, so we kept her back. She is placed out with friends of ours. They're fostering her for us, and she is a phenomenal female, very near to my ideal. I really like Pasha. She's a larger female. She's about 66 centimetres at the withers. She walks around normally at about 70 kilos. There aren't many females that are actually 70 kilos, and just because she's big doesn't mean she's good. She's also very, very correct. She's got a very good top line. She's got great angulation, front and back. She's got good bone. She's a very, very good female. Now, in my opinion, she's very close to my ideal. If anything, she's probably a bit too big, if I'm being completely honest. And she does... Every dog's got its faults, and Pasha's, in my view, main faults is her head could be a bit wider, not a lot, but a little bit wider, and her chest also. She's a little bit narrow on the chest for me, but she's from Cabaret lines, and Cabaret lines, in my experience, the dogs tend to be very correct, great frames, and they need a bit of width on the chest, and in most cases, a bit of width on the head. Now, Pasha is probably the best female that we've bred, maybe even the best dog that we've bred. I really, really think a lot of Pasha. I think she's going to do really, really well. So, given that, as you can see from the photos, I think she's very, very impressive. Got her faults and she's got a bit of lack. And originally we was planning to make Pasha to Spitz for Ramcat. Now, Ramcat needs no introduction. For those that don't know him, Google him, have a little look at him. He's the highest appraised black boerboel there's ever been. The first really famous, the first really popular black sire of the breed. Sadly, he's not around anymore, but we're lucky enough to have some frozen semen of his. So we was going to use Pasha with the frozen semen of Ramcat in this mating. Unfortunately, I've been quite unwell towards the end of this year, and I wasn't able to make the journey to do the mating, because it's in Europe. So we decided to use a substitute male, which was a bit of a downer, but we're lucky that we've got a few good males here at NOXTERRA. So the male that we decided to use was our secret male. Now, I'm not going to go too much into his lineage here because we're doing a video for him to sort of release him to the world, and a bit of the details of him, the lineage of him, lots more footage of him and stuff. But as you can see from the pictures, he's a very impressive looking dog. He's still young, he's not quite two, and this is his first litter. It's Pasha's first litter also, so it's a little bit of a gamble in that we know what they look like, we know how they're bred, what are they going to produce. So it's a little bit of a gamble, but this is what breeding is. It makes it enjoyable for me. So as you can see, our secret male, again, he's a taller male, 68 centimetres, not massively taller than the standard should be. They say it's 66. I like my males a little bit bigger, so 68 centimetres. Very big, very impressive. A great big head, 68 centimetre head, circumference all the way around. Good bone, very good bone. Nice wide chest, good muscling. Nice and correct, good angulation. I like him. He's not a complete package. He's still young, he's still developing, of course. He's not the finished article. He's still got a couple of faults. One of his front feet turn out, which isn't the end of the world, but it is a fault. I'd also like his top line to be slightly straighter. He's just got a little bit of a dip behind his shoulder, behind his withers, which is acceptable. It's not a problem, but it's for me, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, for those of you that don't know that already. And his rump angulation isn't quite perfect for me. So for me, he's just top line a little bit on his rump angulation, and also his front foot turns out. Now, the size, the bone, the muscling, the width of chest, the width of head, which he's got, ticks all of the boxes that Pasha, in my opinion, needs. And Pasha ticks the boxes which our secret male needs, in that his top line slightly deviating behind the withers, and his rump isn't quite the angulation that I think it should be. And obviously the front foot turns out. So they do kind of cancel each other out in their faults. They complement each other in what they're lacking. They don't really take away too much from what they do have good. So for me, this is a good combination. I'm really, really looking forward to the results of this one. Like I say, it's a little bit of a downer because we wanted to use Ramcat with Pash, but we'll use him next time. But yeah, this litter we're really, really excited about. So one of the things that I tell clients when they contact us that are looking at a litter is to always ask the breeder what their reasoning is, why they decided to do that combination, what the pluses are, what the minuses are, and to get an explanation. So for us, this litter, this combination is quite exciting. It's two lines. Our secret male, one little clip I will give you is he's a Ramcat grandson. He's very reminiscent of Ramcat in quite a few ways. He's not as good as Ramcat by all means, but he's not that far off. So we've got cabaret lines here with Ramcat lines that are being blended, which traditionally work really, really well in South Africa. I've seen it many times working and doing quite well, so we wanted to use that here. There's also a bit of Rambo thrown in there, Greenberg Rambo, rest in peace, he recently passed. So we've got a bit of Rambo, we've got a bit of Ramcat, and we've got some cabaret lines, specifically from Son of a Gun and Trebler Lulu. So that combination works. It's been proved and it's been tried and tested quite a few times in the past. So for me, the pedigrees work, the physicalities work. So for me, I think the plus side of this litter is obviously they're going to have height. Well, they should have height. Dad's 68 centimetres, mum is 66 centimetres. They should have thickness of bone, they should have good muscling. This really could be the pinnacle of what we've done so far, and we've been lucky enough to breed some very, very nice dogs so far. This could well be very, very close to my ideal what they're going to come out. Now, the reason I did this is to try and get myself a black male, to try and breed a dog that is slightly smaller, slightly not as oversized as the father, but a little bit more correct, a bit more like Lucas the Wise, NOXTERRA Lucas the Wise. There's a video on YouTube of him, if you have a little look at him. For me, he's very, very close to my ideal. The downsides of this, the possible downsides, which are always possible downsides. First of all, it's the first litter for the parents. So even though they look how they look and we know how they're bred, we don't really know what they're going to produce until they do. And they could possibly be too big and heavy. I don't like my males or my females to be sort of too far over the ideal size in the breed standard, which is 61 centimetres for females. I like my females really about 64, maybe 65. And for 66 centimetres for males, I like my males about 66, 67, 68 possibly. I don't like the weights to go over 75 kilos, so there's a real chance that these dogs could be too big and too heavy, but it's something that we're not going to know until we do. So for me, it's one of my favourite matings of this year. Pash really is one of my favourite dogs, males or females, that we've done. Are already reserved. This whole litter is already reserved, so you won't be able to contact us and get any of the pups from this litter. They're already reserved by people on our waiting list. Now, if you want to join our waiting list, that's easy enough to do. If you go onto the website on the puppy applications page, I'll put the link in on the description for the video. If you go on there, fill out our application form, that's step 1. Step 2 is we'll arrange a video call while you're indoors to carry out the home check. Step 3 is you'll do a visit here in person or a visit via video call. Step 4 is pay your deposit, then you're on. Now, the current wait is about 4 to 6 months for a pup. Could be shorter, could be longer, depends how many litters we have and how large those litters are, obviously. Now, if you like this video, guys, please like it, share it, subscribe on our YouTube channel. If you don't subscribe, you're not going to see our videos. You're not going to get the up-to-date litter announcements. And, of course, if you don't see them first, you get much chance of getting yourself one of our puppies from the litters that we announce on here. Now, if you want to follow us and see what we're up to on our social media page, take a look on our Facebook page. It's at NOXTERRA BOERBOELS. There's 9,000 likers. Add yourself to one of those likers. You'll see our posts come up as and when they come up. And again, you'll keep up to date with all the NOXTERRA news as it happens. If you want to follow us on Instagram, now we've got 20,000 followers, something like that now. So if you want to follow us, see daily posts, stories, updates on the litters as they're growing on a daily basis. All of the NOXTERRA family that people send their pictures in that are all over the world nowadays. If you want to see those, you want to keep up to date with those, follow us on Instagram. Again, it's at NOXTERRA BOERBOELS. There's nigh on 20,000 video followers already. Make yourself one of them. And we've got a Twitter channel as well. It's at NOXTERRA BB, lowercase bb. If you want to keep up to date with us on Twitter, by all means do so. You can always check out the website, which is www.noxterraboerboels.com. And if you want to contact us, if you want to ask us any questions, if you want to know what's going on, please feel free to email us, and that's on info@noxterraboerboels.com. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you on our next video.